Annalise buys a car that is 1 year old. The value has reduced by 15% of the value when it's new. So if we're trying to find the value when it was new, it means that the 15% reduction has already occurred. That means to reduce something by 15%, we would multiply it by 0.85. So 0.85 times the original value gives us the amount she paid, which is 13,600. And so the amount when it was new would be 13,600 divided by 0.85. Which is 16,000. After the first year, the car reduces in value by 11% each year for the next 3 years. Now, I appreciate this one did cause some issues because some people had the wrong starting value. It does say after the first year the car reduces in value by 11%. We know that after year 1 the cost of the car was 13,600. So that's the value that you needed to start with. It meant that it didn't matter if you hadn't got this answer previously, you could still carry on with this question. So if something is reducing by 11% each year for the next 3 years, essentially it's a kind of compound interest question. So we start with our value of 13,600. To reduce it by 11%, we would multiply it by 0.89. And that's happening for 3 years. So that's multiplying by 0.89, multiplying by 0.89. Or in other words, well, 13,600 multiplied by 0.89 to the power 3. So it was 958758, 958758. They accepted various versions of that, various roundings of that. Boris buys a car for 23,000. The value of this car reduces by 8% each year. So if Boris's car was to reduce by 8% each year, it would be 23,000 multiplied by 0.92. And we need to find the number of complete years it takes for it to fall below 11,500. So that's the unknown value with a number of years. And it has to be less than 11,500. So 0.92 to the power n. Just rearranging as a normal equation. Now, when our unknown is one of the powers, if you recall, we can take logs of both sides. And then the n comes in front. And then, sorry, and it has to be less than log 11500 over 23,000 over log 0.92. I'm going to do this as a fraction so I don't make any mistakes. So that's log. And then I've got a fraction inside here too. So it's log of 11500 over 23,000. And that's over log of 0.92. 2. So that's 8.31. Okay, so we need to know it has to be whole number of years, but because n has to be less than 8.31, then 8 years is our answer. Okay, next question. Draw the image of the quadrilateral after it's been reflected in the y-axis and then rotated through 90 degrees anti-clockwise about the origin. So a reflection in the y-axis would initially bring the shape here, and then a rotation anti-clockwise with the origin as the center moves it to here. Now, it's fine to actually show both stages of your working, but please ensure that you cross one out or erase it or whatever you want to do to make sure that they're not both still there. Okay. So describe fully the single transformation equivalent to the reflection in the y-axis followed by the 90-degree anti-clockwise. So, I think I've drawn that incorrectly. I have drawn that incorrectly. Oh, gosh. Right, apologies. I've actually been able to draw it properly now, actually thinking about it. Right, okay, so we're trying to describe how they've gone from this shape here directly to this shape here. Well, I'm hoping that you can see it's a reflection in this line. Okay, so we need to describe that. So it's a reflection in the line y equals negative x. Draw the image of the quadrilateral A after a stretch scale of factor 3 with y-axis invariant. So I'll keep my blue pen. So if the y-axis is invariant, it means that the only thing happening is a stretch in this direction. It doesn't get any wider, and it's a scale factor of 3. So where there was a distance of 1 unit here from there to there, there will now be a distance of 3. So we start here, and then again here would start here. This was 2 units, so our shape will now be 6 units. This was 1 unit, so our shape will be 3, and then we just join that up there. So that's shape B. And describe fully the single transformation that maps quadrilateral B back onto quadrilateral A. So that is a stretch scale factor of 1/3 because it's the opposite of scale factor of 3, and y-axis invariant.